Sri Gurubhyo Nama. Morning viewers. In this video we are going to see about the 2023 predictions. I wish you all a very happy 2023. Let this new year bring you all prospects and happiness. If you are new to my channel, keep this channel subscribed so that you will get my updates instantly. You are seeing the planetary position on 2023, the day 1 as well as the end of the year 2023, 31st December. 2023, numerologically it is value 7 and assigned to the planet Ketu. In 2022, during the New Year prediction, we were talking about the Venus. As 2022, Venus was ruling the complete year, and this year it will be Ketu which is going to rule the complete year. Because at the beginning of the year, that is 1st January 2023, you have Ashwini star, the star of Ketu. Same way in the end of the year, 31st of December, you have Maha star, star of Ketu, and Ketu is very strong at Virgo. You have Rahu moved away from Aries to Pisces. So in this year, you will be seeing 3 major transits. One is Saturn Transit, another is Jupiter as well as Rahu Ketu transits. So all the important planetary movements going to take place on 2023. Ketu is something like which is more of spirituality. So those who are very strong in spiritual way of living, they find this year more interesting and very fruitful and happy for them. But those who do not believe on spirituality and who are against spiritualism may face certain problems also. But when Ketu is associating with the house of Mercury, and Mercury implies the financial institutions, bank and other investments and investing sectors, most of the countries may face certain financial crunch during this year. Ketu is a planet which is not of luxury, it is more of spiritualism. So this year there may be some shortfall in revenue, there may be some overall global problems, there may be dip in the revenue across major companies as well as countries may face certain economic crisis also. Fortunately, it is not a prolonging issue, but a span of around 6 to 8 months things will change. But one need not have to worry, as if a person's personal horoscope is very strong, having very strong Mahadasa and Antardasa, the planetary position may not have much influence because hardly it will take 50 to 20% on a person. So the remaining 80% comes from the personal horoscope, the current Mahadasa and Antardasa. At the same time, if a person's individual chart is not so strong, and even if the current Mahadasa and Antardasa is not supportive, he may find certain issues also. There may be loss of job, there may be some financial crisis, there may be some theft in the property. So some of the bad events may take place in this year. So it is better to save as much as possible. Spending huge money, spending on unwanted things, spending lavishly, one need to be restricted in all these areas. So this particular year, better to save and spend wherever it is really required. Now if you see the planetary position on day 1, that is on January 1st, 2023, it is Ashwini star, the star of Ketu. Moon is associated in the house of Aries and makes Rahu positive. At the second house you have Mars there. 7th house Libra, you are having Ketu there. 9th house Sagittarius, there is a conjunction of planets, Sun and Mercury together, and in 10th house Venus makes Saturn positive, and Saturn being the ruler, and at the 12th house you have Jupiter. If you see at the end of the year on 31st of December, it is Maha star, the star of Ketu again. Now Moon is at Leo. You are having Jupiter at Aries and Rahu at Pisces. Ketu moves from Libra to Virgo. At Scorpio, you are having Mercury associated with Venus, and in Sagittarius you are having Sun and Mars together, and at Aquarius you are having Saturn ruler there. It takes the Mool Trikona power, and at the 12th house you are having Rahu. In this particular year 2023, you have 3 major transits which has a very big influence on a person's horoscope. That is, the beginning of January itself you are having the Saturn transit, then you have the Rahu Ketu as well as the Jupiter transit also. We will be seeing a separate video for each and every zodiac right from Aries to Pisces. Cancer. the fourth zodiac sign as per the Kalapurusha Tattva. For Cancer, the upcoming 2023 is not favorable because Saturn from 7th house moves to the 8th house, and Saturn placed at 8th house will not give positive results. From 8th house it will aspect the 2nd house strongly. But fortunately, in 2023, Jupiter also moves to the Aries and will aspect the 2nd house of Cancer. So to an extent, the ill effect of Saturn will not be there. Saturn aspecting the 5th house seems to be really a problematic case here because no other positive planets are aspecting the 5th house. For Cancer, in 2023, Jupiter from 9th house moves to the 10th house. It will try to move people from one place to other place. Generally, people who are working in a company, in this particular period, they may get a chance to go to a different location. So it is out of a project change or a transfer like that. So the possibility of change of location may take place. Some may even move to a different country also. So 10th house, when Jupiter is there, it will also create some problems in the workplace. So those who are already working in a company, they need to be really careful in this particular year. So they need to attend the job in time. They need to go to the office in time, complete the task without any pending, avoid unnecessary arguments with the seniors. It will all help them to sustain their job. Rahu also moves from 10th house to 9th house in the upcoming Rahu Ketu Transit. So the position of Rahu is not favorable because it moves to the 9th house, and 9th house certainly gives some troubles in terms of the health of the father and father side family. So there will be some conflict between the native of the chart with the relatives from the father's side. Also 9th house indicate unexpected luck. So this year they may not face certain lucky time because they need to lose certain opportunities. So Rahu will try to give some troubles in that area. But Ketu from 4th house moves to the 3rd house seems to be really good for them. So the spiritual way of life in 2023 will certainly help particular zodiac to prosper well, because Ketu indicates the spirituality. When Ketu is there in the 3rd house, there will be a good chance of a travel to pilgrimage, to a travel to visit your temples. There are chances of traveling to different locations. Even some may go to different countries also. So 3rd house indicates frequent travel. Devoting ourselves to charity and other positive things, it will definitely cut short certain negative results, because Ketu is very good at the 3rd house. It will yield a lot of positive results. Now, when Saturn moves to the 8th house, so far it was there in the 7th house, it would have given some troubles in terms of marriage life. Those who are looking for a new married life, last 2.5 years they might have faced a lot of troubles because Saturn at the 7th house would have stopped many alliances. This year 2023, it is a right chance for them to find a suitable alliance and get married and settled in their life. Even for those couples might have had some misunderstandings in the previous years. Now is the time for them to get united. Those who are separated, there are chances to reunite. So a lot of positive things can happen. Some of them may find new friends in this particular period. So it's a good chance of building friendship. Even in business, it turns out to be positive for them, because the partnership business will yield a lot of positivity in this particular year. In terms of children education, as 4th house is really good and Jupiter aspecting the 4th house, there is a good chance for children to study well. So those who belong to this specific zodiac, they will study well in this particular year, prosper well, and try to get good schools and universities. So it seems to be really favorable for them. Even for those who are at the senior level, who are doing graduations and post-graduations, they can enter into good universities. Some of them can get placed through campus interviews. So it looks positive for the children. Those who are looking for a childbirth in this year, There may be some trouble because as Saturn aspects the 5th house, it will certainly stop certain activities. But 2023 is really challenging for those who are expecting a childbirth. So they need to take the support of the medicines, the support of the technologies to find a suitable results. Second house seems to be partially good and partially bad because as Saturn is also aspecting and Jupiter is also aspecting. So they need to be really careful in terms of communications, in terms of family life. There may be some confusions between the family members. Those who are working with communication as a base may face a lot of troubles in this year, especially for teachers, lawyers. This year it could be more challenging for them. As 10th house Jupiter is there, those who are unemployed for long, there are chances of getting good employment in this particular year. Now when we talk about the segments, if we talk about the health, Saturn is placed in the 7th house so far aspecting the zodiac directly. So it might have given certain health related problems. But fortunately till this time Jupiter is also aspecting the zodiac directly, so the effects would have nullified. But when Saturn moves to the 8th house, it will definitely create certain mental stress, certain health problems. Even for their fathers and father side family, there will be some health related issues in 2023. When Ketu moves away from 4th house to 3rd house, the health of the mother will get improved in this year. And there will be good relationship with the mother side family also. So the 4th house seems to be positive and 9th house seems to be negative. So in terms of health, they need to be careful in all these areas. Even the children, they may face certain health related issues, but they study well. But they may face certain frequent health related issues. When we talk about job opportunities, so this particular year there is a good chance of getting new employments, but the problem here is they may not get an employment in the native place. They need to shift to different places. Those who are already working in a company, there could be some chance of movement from one location to other location. Some may need to get separated from their family. In terms of education, it is very good for the children education in this year. Children will study well, prosper well. Whether it is a 10th standard student or a graduate student, it seems to be really favorable for them. They can study well this year. In terms of marriage life, this is a correct time for those who are not married for long. 2023 is going to give them a good alliance and settle down in life. Even those who are separated, it's a good time for them to reunite. Even the confusions and conflicts between the life partners, husband and wife, will come to an end and they have a smooth life in 2020. In terms of business, it is really favorable because its 7th house turns out to be positive. But whenever Saturn is there at the 8th house, it will also give certain adults in all these areas. It is not so easy going when Saturn is there at the 8th house. It will create problems equivalent to the 7.5 period of Saturn. So when we talk about marriage, it is not smooth. When we talk about education, it is not smooth because it will give certain problems in terms of health to the children and it will not allow them to study the subject. So there will be a mixed effect in all these areas. In terms of work, if they make any mistake, they will lose the job. The job seekers, if they don't study well, if they don't attempt well, they will not get fruitful results. So any point, Saturn at the 8th house will definitely give some mental stress also. So 2023 is not so easy for Cancer. When you look at this chart, you could see the 8th house is affected as Saturn moves to the 8th house. 2nd house is partially affected as Jupiter and Saturn together they are aspecting it. 9th and 10th houses are affected as Rahu is associated to 9th house and in 10th house Jupiter moves to the 10th house. The 5th house is affected as Saturn aspecting the 5th house. When Ketu moves to the 3rd house becomes positive. Jupiter aspecting the 4th and 6th houses makes both houses positive. The 11th, 12th and the zodiac are to an extent average and 7th house seems to be average. In 2023, they can win out of any problems through worship. So they get very strong faith in spirituality. They believe in spiritualism. So that will definitely help them in solving all the problems, even the problems given by the Saturn the next 2.5 years from the 8th house. So comparing all the planetary positions for Cancer, we can expect up to 75% positivity.